Rock Me Mama.
Hey guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Rock
Cheers.
Me Mama.
Oh, to Rock Me Mama. Remember when we used to say it at the same time?
Yeah, and then you'd say, I'm Macy.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Amie. And this is
Oh my God, we're so rusty.
They need a reminder.
Rock Me Mama.
Rock Me Mama.
We're back. It's been a long time. It's been months.
It's been months. There's a new child added to the
I had a child. I had Tony.
little Tony.
Yeah.
He was born.
Little Tony.
And thank fucking God, you guys. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't deal with being pregnant. Not a second longer.
We're going to get there.
That was a
Every
lot.
moment I wanted to just die.
Yeah, that was a lot.
It was a lot.
September, that pregnant is brutal. We'll get into that, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Really quick, just before we dive in.
Yep.
Because this episode's just like about basically Amie. Because everybody wants to hear about your birth story and Tony and all
There's
the
a lot
things.
to tell. There's a lot to unpack.
But I do think it's important to know, or for the listeners to know, that we now are back to the world of sitting on this spring.
Oh, the couch that goes up your butt. Yeah.
Hey guys, Bill won't let me even buy a Goodwill couch for y'all, so you can take that up with
We'll talk to Bill about it.
him.
I guess at some point it would be our responsibility to to help with this couch. But does anyone sleep on this? Does anyone do anything with this couch?
No, it just sits there.
Maybe we
waiting for
maybe
your
we
beautiful
go and buy some
butts.
nice ass pillows.
Grace.
Yeah. It's really
And
fine.
we just spruce up this couch.
I just forgot about it. And I did find a sweet spot though. So if I move, it's going to
Sure. Yeah, Amy, maybe move around a little.
yeah.
Part of my butt is numb. I was telling one of my best friends is in town, and I was doing my little core thing this morning because C-section,
Me too.
you go numb.
Mhm, I was also.
Yeah, you were doing your course
Yeah, I
too,
was.
Morg. And I could feel the top of my my upper back was a little numb. I'm like,
Upper back?
did they cut something? No, upper butt.
Upper butt.
Yeah, because this is all numb. All my whole incision. Obviously, I'm 6 weeks postpartum,
Yeah.
but I never felt the butt part.
Interesting.
Do you want a pillow from our guest room right
No,
there?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm just being annoying.
I was kidding.
Yeah, I'm
mostly.
totally fine. It's not even that uncomfortable, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally believe you.
No,
That's
in an
fine. I actually
hour,
really
in an
did find a
hour, it's
sweet
going to be
spot.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I'll forget and then move and it'll be back up my butthole. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's chitty chat about
Let's get
you
into
and,
it.
and little T-Man. Well, let's start with how are you feeling? And we need to cover all bases. How are you feeling physically, and then how are you feeling mentally and emotionally?
So physically, I am struggling, as you know. Well, I guess that's mental and emotional. Physically, I feel okay. I mean, the first 2 weeks are grueling.
Yeah.
And I've now had one emergency C-section and one planned C-section, and I found them both to be grueling. And partially it's because I blow up like a soup dumpling, and and I thought it wasn't going to happen this time because I thought
did.
and it did.
It did.
Oh, you saw? No, it was so.
We can laugh now because we actually laughed at the time. Too.
we laughed at the time.
She had her legs. I mean, as you should have posted up.
Yeah, I had
here.
to elevate them.
They're elevated, and she was showing me her toes. I'm not even kidding. The pads of her feet were swollen too. And I was like,
my
Amy,
legs were this big. My
literally
legs
the
were
bottom of
yeah.
your feet are swollen as well.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, are they?" can't see.
I literally couldn't. And when I walked around, it felt like water was going. I could feel the water in my legs and in my feet and in my ankles. So the first 2 weeks were super gnarly. Also, you're just in so much pain. And I stopped. I didn't want to take the Oxycontin more than just in the hospital. Because I was like, I have a lot of ailments and I don't need to also be addicted to Oxy.
Sure. Let's just stop while we're ahead.
Yeah, I already have enough things.
I'll just take that 800 milligram ibuprofen and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling Macy at the OBGYN yesterday or a couple days ago for my 6-week checkup. You know how in the beginning they're like, "Are you still on this? Are you still taking that? Do you still?" And for me, it's so many things. They're like, "Are you still on this crazy pill?" Yes. "Are you still on that crazy pill?" Yes. And they're naming all. And I said, "Listen, I'm still crazy. I still have STDs. What else do you want to know?"
Next
Yeah.
question.
What else do you want to know? Like, what is this, a fucking roast?
Yeah, like, do we want to talk about my incision? Or
The nurse was laughing. I was like, I got it all. I still have it all. It's still happening.
it didn't
Now,
pop
my
out when
husband
the
wants to
baby
know if
popped
I can
out.
have sex with him, and
Yeah.
can I start trying to get my ass back?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
But so physically, the beginning is really gnarly. I just got cleared to work out. I, however, have been working out lightly, doing your program for 3 or more weeks, just really listening to my body.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing myself. I'm not doing the things I want to do,
Yeah.
but I am working out.
Well, you've been good about walks too.
And I've been
doing that
taking
for a while.
walks. It's very hard for me to look at my postpartum body, and I know all women feel this way. And I know that I'm supposed to give myself grace. And I just had a baby and blah, blah, blah. But it is extremely, extremely hard for me to look at my body at all, even getting out of the shower.
Yeah.
Like when I get out of the shower and I get a glimpse, I'm like, oh God, like I just throw a towel on because I'm like, I don't want to see
Halloween's
that.
over, babe.
Yeah. And it's not even just the C-section scar because like that, you have the shelf over it, especially in the beginning when it's puffy. It's like this cut and then a shelf. But it's also just like my body just retains this weight and retains this water. And like when you're pregnant, you look cute because everything's tight.
Yeah.
You're stuffed into your skin. So it's like
Great description.
you're stuffed into your skin.
Yeah.
And like
Now
you're
just a busted can of biscuits.
yeah, and you wear tight clothes because it's like, oh, she's so pregnant. When you get unpregnant, it's just like letting the air out of a balloon. And you still have all of that goo.
Yeah.
And I'm looking in the mirror. A tan wouldn't help this, but I'm very white.
Yeah.
So like I'm very pale. I have the gash. I've got the big breastfeeding titties that are like leaking.
What are you talking about?
And
Oh,
honey, they're featured. Honey, they're featured. They're all I got.
She's like, everybody look at these.
Everybody look at these. Don't look anywhere else. But it's just, it's hideous. It's a hideous sight.
It's okay.
I know. And I know.
But Amy, and this is coming from me.
You're
okay?
supposed to tell me. I know you're supposed to say, but you brought life
you
in.
don't have to like it.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. Absolutely not. You don't have to like it. And I would say, give yourself grace. It's not a but. Like, I know I'm supposed to give myself grace, but I don't like it.
It's an and,
I don't like it, and
That's a good
Yeah.
I'm going to
way
give
to
myself
phrase it.
grace.
And it's very
gonna be
hard for
fine.
me to look and see the future of like, okay, you're going to work really hard and you're going to get yourself back. It's extremely, because to have like 25 extra pounds on my body right now, I gained 40 pounds again. Despite trying, working out and being healthy, I gained 40 pounds and I still have 25. And it's just, and I get it. It's annoying, like to people that are actually obese. Like it's annoying, but like
You're also allowed
I'm
to feel
allowed
that.
to feel
Yeah.
this way,
You are. You
and
absolutely are.
it's. I really, really, really am experiencing a lot of self-hatred when I look in
Yeah.
the mirror.
Well, how does this
So that's
make you
happening a lot.
How does this make you feel? We're going to do Booty After Baby.
Yes.
Shout out Fittest Core.
Yes.
Okay. And you, will get hotter than you already still are. And you'll get to watch me at a much slower pace get a little bit
Hotter.
cute.
You're beautiful, and also
I can't wait.
I just had a C-section, so we're probably starting out at a similar
we are. No, that's,
place because you don't
that's
you don't work out, and I worked out my whole
you
pregnancy.
mean? What do you mean? I look, oh wait, I'm like, deja vu. Am I due in December again?
Well, it is weird though how you still look pregnant. Like when you have a child, you still look pregnant for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you do.
You just look like you're like 20 weeks or something.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and a
Like,
lot of that
yeah.
is due to your, right, Macy, you can speak to this. It's just your core's gone. So it just like
Yeah.
sits way differently than it
and
would.
Well, your organs literally shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally they shift. And then your core physically separates. And so, everybody has diastasis recti.
Yeah.
Literally 100% of women who go through pregnancy have diastasis recti. And some of them split more than others. There are so many different factors of that, like even down to like how long your torso is,
Yeah.
And if you don't properly heal a diastasis recti, it can still, and this is dramatic what I'm doing with my hands. Nobody's stomach is like gaping open,
Yeah.
right? But like there is, instead of your core going back together, it is still going to have
Yeah.
that separation.
Yeah.
And I mean, if
And
it's
there's
a big enough
fluffiness that-
separation,
yeah.
you will see that.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, that's definitely, and
Yeah.
part of it, like you're still early enough postpartum that your uterus still has not shrunk down to
Yeah.
its normal size.
That's what my doctor said. She was like, "You're clear to work out and you can have sex." She's like, "I wouldn't have too much sex." I was like, "Don't worry, honey.
Say less.
Aw,
Say less."
Okay.
She was
I'll
like,
be
"Because
sure
it's
to
still
tell
you,
him.
you could still get infected just because everything
Oh,
is
yeah.
kind of."
Yeah.
We're both going to be so disappointed.
I know. I'm so sad. I was really hoping to bone
The second you got
between
home from
I
that.
shouldn't do
breastfeeding
it in the
and
parking lot on the way out.
so. I do know people that are like that like want it right away, and I can't relate.
I wish.
But like Nick was like, "Oh, I'm scheduling a vasectomy," and so he did schedule a
Way
consultation.
to go, Nicholas.
Right? Because I'm like, I am 42. I'm turning, by the way, tomorrow's my birthday. I'm turning 42.
That's the second time I've done that. Don't let me do that again.
P.S. I cannot believe I am a woman who has a newborn
Yeah.
at 42.
It's so
How
badass.
New age of me.
It's so
cool.
badass.
That is so not what the plan was.
Yeah,
That
that's fair.
almost makes it more badass.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But you like did it anyway. And you're
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
did
I
it
did. I
anyway.
sure did.
Against
Yeah,
like
you-
all
you
the odds.
sure
You
did.
basically
I might be.
told you,
he
like,
might be
couldn't.
wheeling me down the aisle at his wedding, but
And you know what? He will. And that's great.
if I make it that long,
At least you don't have to walk.
yeah, it's true. I get to sit.
You can have a
Relaxation,
glass
honey.
of wine in hand.
Yeah,
Don't drink and drive your wheelchair.
Don't drink and drive.
Well,
But Nick is getting the vasectomy, and he was like, "Well, we can't have sex." I was like, "We can try, but like, you have to use a condom."
yeah, we're taking no risk.
And I realized that Nick and I have never used a condom
Well, hey, look, there's a time
in our
for
entire
everything.
relationship.
There is a time
That
for
includes when we
everything.
met.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah. You're like, don't know you, you don't know me.
Didn't
but-
know each other. I was like, "Hey,
don't know
here's what
condoms
you're
either.
working with."
Yeah, that's okay.
Let's go. Yeah. So we both. It'll be a new experience for us completely. We've never.
You know what? It's gonna suck.
Yeah, condoms are awful.
It's gonna not
They're
be a good new
great, but they
experience.
are not good
They're
times.
good for what you
Just
need them
get-
for.
use
Otherwise,
lube, too.
not
Just
a good time.
Get some good lube.
But I will say,
Yeah.
and sorry, babe, I know you don't love me talking about it. I don't really love it either, but we don't love condoms either. But I will say that first couple times post baby, if you can emotionally, for the woman, emotionally connect,
Yeah.
it is nice, and it still is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, the
with
first,
a condom?
like, 5 times are emotional connection. Like
Yeah.
it's literally like performing a surgical procedure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or at least like I don't.
So like
I would
condom
assume
is
it's
the
about
least
the
of
same
your
with-
worries.
Yeah, well, your vagina, when you have a C-section, you're still closed. Like your vag
Oh,
closes.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
and
no.
you're probably worried
And your
about
pelvic
your incision.
floor.
Like,
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the
pelvic
same.
floor,
Your
like,
pelvic
and
floor-
subconsciously,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
back there, and your vagina has now developed a right angle after you have a baby. Somehow.
Yeah.
So maybe his dick should turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
figure
yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
My
Hard
body
is bad.
changed. Yours should too.
No,
Yeah,
you definitely, I felt like it was closed for business. When we tried last time, I was like, "Oh, you're not like getting in."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like, oh, they must have accidentally sewed me shut instead of my incision.
Yeah. What a tragedy. Oh, no.
But it really the first time
I'd almost rather blow him for like a couple months. You know what I mean?
I
Because
literally
it's,
do.
It's
know what you
quick.
mean.
It's
Yes.
easy. You don't have to be touched.
Yeah.
I said to
I'm
him,
sure
I
he
go,
wouldn't
when
be opposed to that.
No, I think I'm going to just blow him for like this month because I
Yeah.
just don't know if I'm ready. But the other day, he's like, "When we do it," I said, "Stop that thought. When we do it, no fiddle diddle."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's
No
a
fiddle
hard.
diddle.
Because he looks at me and goes like this sometimes, and he doesn't touch me, but he's like, I'm like, "If you fiddle my nipple,
Yeah.
I will burn our house down."
Yeah. No,
Because
houses to the
our
ground.
baby is suckling
Yeah.
all day long. The last thing I need is for you to fiddle my
Yeah.
nipple.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you'll save Tito out of that burning house before you'll save him after
Yeah.
that.
No, I still would let Tito burn.
Okay. Well.
God, I hate Tito so much.
Tito, don't make eye contact with the boobs,
okay.
and definitely don't fiddle them.
Yeah,
Well,
no fiddling.
So emotionally,
So emotionally, what I told her, we talked about this earlier today, and what I told her is that like we all know Amie and how hard she works, and she knows, which doesn't make it any easier, but she knows that she will not continue to not like the way she looks because she's going to work hard.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time, but like you're going to get to a point where one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh,
I look okay.
That looks a little
It's
bit more like
inspiring
me.
for me.
And-
It's because I've told y'all, I was like, that's not a practice that was put into place in my, you know,
upbringing.
at all.
Yeah.
Quite the opposite.
Well, it's something that really is like Macy's someone that wakes up and is in shape. Well, is lean and builds muscle,
Right,
and gets strong.
Right.
I'm someone that I've had to work so hard my whole life to be in shape because I will get bigger and sloppy, and it's taken me. I mean, I really my best friend who's here. Mof,
Hey, Mof is here.
Mofi's here, but
Mof
she
in the
knows
house. I
since.
just
I
almost
mean,
went, whoop, whoop.
we went to boarding school together. I was working out every day when we were 14.
Yeah.
You know, I have disciplined myself to work out like a savage beast because I have to stay in shape.
Well, and there's underlying things to that, which we've talked about
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my
Doesn't
mom
make
has
it
had
wrong,
me
though.
counting calories since I was 11.
Yeah.
So there's definitely unhealthy parts about it.
Yeah.
But the healthy part
Taking
is
care of yourself is good.
the healthy part is taking care of myself, and I don't undereat. I don't overeat. I'm very good at. I just am very regimented as far as knowing everything that goes in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think. I also think to myself, I'm 42. Maybe I won't get it back because
wouldn't
different cortisol levels and different hormones, and there's other things at play now that I'm worried.
I mean, I do think it's certainly not going to be easier.
No.
Cross
But you
that
also
bridge, babe.
have,
Yep.
yeah, you also have all the resources. You have also done it before,
Literally. Yeah.
which like that's all you need to know. I mean,
Yeah.
like true,
Yeah.
like you've done it before. There's nothing stopping you from doing it again. In
Yep.
fact, this time you have more resources.
Yeah.
Than you
No,
did
totally.
last time. You know,
And
Totally.
a workout buddy.
and a
Or
workout
two.
buddy.
No, we have to start Booty After Baby this week.
Yeah, we're doing it this week, whenever.
Okay.
Love it.
Say the word.
Ugh,
If you,
freaking
so
love
you're on air saying this, babe.
I know, and that's
your word is
on
your-
purpose,
your
'cause
word is your
otherwise-
bond.
No, I'm very serious.
Okay.
I'm having.
It'll be so
Good.
fun doing it
very
together and so
very
much easier.
problems.
Very much problems.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk
gonna be so
about
fun.
bodies for the rest of
I
the
know.
Yeah.
fucking.
But yeah,
Anyways,
it's a
well,
valid
I'm
part of
boring myself,
postpartum.
but
you're valid.
Well,
and
this is
yeah.
probably going to be a little bit more talk about your body, but my next question that I want you to share with the listeners, because the last time we were on air with Rock Me Mama, how many weeks were you? I mean, you were like
maybe 30 or
you were-
something.
yeah, but it's been a while. So walk us through, and you can answer shortly, but walk us through the like 7 layers of hell that
Or the third try.
that the remainder of your pregnancy was.
So I got really sick in my third trimester. Like really sick. I was nauseous and I actually threw up a few times and I had diarrhea and I couldn't eat things. Acid reflux. Anything I ate was sitting in my throat. I couldn't I couldn't do anything. And I also was tired to the point where I could not function.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed half the day. Like Farrah would come home and she'd have to come and see me in bed because I could not function. It felt, and I don't know if this is just a having a kid thing, like having a toddler thing, and then being pregnant, or if it's my age or what factors were at play. I have never felt like the earth was pulling me into it the way I did in my third trimester with a toddler.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep my fucking eyes open. And I was so uncomfortable, but I still slept.
Yeah.
Because like the earth dragged me into it.
And then at least you don't have to think about it when you're.
Yeah. And it was horrible, horrible. And I was in
pretty bad.
so much pain. My
So much
back,
pain.
my hips. I couldn't, it hurt to walk. It hurt.
Hurt to sit.
Come
Hurt to
see
lay
your
down.
Victorian mother with Spanish flu. That's the wrong time period. With dysentery and I'm on the set of Downton Abbey. Come see me, youngin.
No, literally. Like if you
I don't
wanted to
know.
see me, you have to come to my bed to see me.
Yeah.
But
You're
also,
you're like this.
yeah. I was miserable. I was also just emotionally miserable. So I stopped like talking. Like I
can't help
stopped.
but crack jokes.
You have
No,
to.
that's why we love
No,
you.
you have
That's why
to.
you're here.
Have you guys ever made the mistake of looking at your vagina when you're in your third trimester? Because I
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I couldn't because you stopped being able to see your vagina at like 25
you
weeks
have
or
to
something.
Do the just most humbling.
Yeah.
Humbling isn't even the right word. I don't know. Like disgraceful. I don't even know the word
Yeah.
to suffice. But the most humbling move of sitting in front of the mirror.
Yeah. And so I did it because I was still trying to shave the top and like it looked like just like a little man with a goatee.
Sure.
Because I was just like trying to shave the top but like couldn't reach any other part of it.
Yeah.
At one point, you sent me a text saying that it looked like I think that it. Roadkill was the word used.
No, it looked
sure.
like a dead possum.
Gopher. Oh,
It looked like a dead possum on the side of the road.
Hey,
That's what she
don't
said.
worry, Doc. I got the C-section started for you.
Yeah.
We're
No,
all
I
set.
looked in the mirror and it would look like a fat little dead possum on the side of the road. And I was like, I don't
Really
is the
good.
best part.
That's
I was like,
so good.
I don't
Actually
know.
dead or playing dead?
No, it was dead.
It was like totally dead. Got it.
Like it
I-
didn't still have the little like possum smirk on its face.
And it was as
just
pale
like-
as a possum. And I was just like,
Pink.
I cannot believe what this looks like.
it doesn't look like your vagina.
Anyway,
that's
I
for sure.
digress, but
It
that's
is
what it looked
hard-
like.
it's hard
A
to look
pale
at.
little fat possum.
Love it. That's the,
What else do you guys
want to
know?
Unrelatable thing you've ever said. So.
Yeah, nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't look at your vagina. If you're in your third trimester right now, do us all a favor, and mostly yourself.
Mostly yourself.
Do not look at your vagina in the mirror
yeah.
because you don't want to know, honey.
And guess
Just-
what? Your husband doesn't care. The nurses don't care. The doctors don't care.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
That's another thing about C-section
it.
that I think is probably the same amount embarrassing in both like vaginal and C-section. Just the amount of like you don't care because you're about to have a baby,
Right.
but like the exposure, like the under the lights when they're about to cut you open and your legs are open and you're numb and you're under the lights and there are so many people there.
Yeah. I gotta say that bit's the least of my worries. I'm not gonna lie.
I was just like, wow, I am the most exposed. Like,
I asked Chase to
Yeah,
wipe my shit off the table.
yeah,
so
Chase wiped your butt. So
Yeah.
it's a level of exposure that you
I don't have anything.
You can't ever.
yeah, this time
And
I
he's
didn't.
like, what poop? Get back in there. Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying though. Like,
yeah,
No,
I-
it's
it's a
not
level of
fun.
exposure
It's
that you
not
cannot
fun at
prepare
all.
yourself.
I'm
for.
not. Yeah, it's and like all the talk. You know how they try to get you like to talk and be relaxed and all that stuff. And I'm like, I just,
And you're like, I know what you're doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay, so on the topic of being sprawled out on the delivery table, everybody does know by now because you've talked about
Oh,
the
I
second
didn't-
C-section.
Yeah,
but
I didn't have my VBAC.
a lot of a lot of
about
people
that.
have
Yeah.
been asking you. I know if you did, and
Yeah.
asking out of like they love you. People really
yeah,
want to know.
and it doesn't annoy me because
Yeah.
I made such a big deal out of it, and I really wanted to have a VBAC, and I was really, really. I mean, I hired a fucking doula. That's so not me.
yeah,
I wanted a VBAC really, really badly, but as I started getting closer and closer to my due date, I was just like feeling worse and worse and sicker and sicker. And I started getting these bad feelings like every time they would check me, they were like, you know, I wasn't dilated at all.
yeah.
My cervix was high and tight, and all of that can change in an instant. So it's like I could have waited till 41 weeks or whatever. With
You
Farah,
also
I
were-
wasn't dilated at all at 41 weeks. So it's like maybe I would have had her at 42 weeks, but would she be okay?
Yeah.
I'm over 40
Yeah.
at this point. So there are risks that are there, and like I get it that the like really, really natural birth doula and midwife community see births all the time that are natural and women are older and they wait 42 weeks. But there's also like a lot of times where it doesn't work and you can have a stillborn.
Yeah.
And that's like not something I could risk.
Well,
So
you also like, yes, all of that, but you also like, you might have been trying to push this memory out of your brain, but you were in a really bad place.
yeah.
Like like you could not have gone on many more days.
No, I was in a really bad place emotionally. I was like,
Yeah.
I was really because I was in so much physical pain and,
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to sleep at all at the end. And also the not knowing while you have a toddler, we don't have family in town. I mean, literally, I was just like, this could happen at any moment, and I don't know the not knowing part
Yeah.
was just too much for me.
Yeah. No, we've talked. You made the right decision, 100%.
And so I ended up at the end scheduling a C-section because I was like, I can't go any further. And she was like, well, I wouldn't have let you go more than a couple days more.
Yeah.
Because she's like, we don't do that in this office at your age. So I ended up getting the scheduled C-section, which by the time it came, I was like, fucking do it. Let's go. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
But the birth wasn't, I mean, we've talked about this since, but it was less traumatizing in the way that I didn't go through like a day and a half of labor.
And it wasn't an emergency.
It wasn't an emergency.
It was happening.
But when he came out, he didn't breathe and he wasn't breathing for a long time and he was like blue. And I didn't get to hold him and I didn't get to touch him. And they took him away and I had him at 3:36 and I didn't hold him until 7 or 7:30 at night. And that's like the opposite of everything I wanted and planned. And having a baby, not knowing if they're okay and not being able to see them or touch them. Like I made Nick go with them to wherever they took him. Because they worked on him in front of me for 45 minutes and I was crying hysterically the whole time because I was just like, he looked dead.
Yeah.
And then they took him away and Nick went with him. I was like, you go with him. And then a nurse brought me my phone because I was like, I need to text my husband. Like, I don't know where anyone is. And I was just alone in a room waiting to hear what was happening. And Nick kept texting me like, he's doing good. But I knew that when we were in the room with the baby at first, Nick was over with him. And I could see in Nick's face that Nick did not think he was doing well. But Nick was trying to show me. He was trying to make me feel better, even though Tony was blue. So it was just fucking traumatizing. And then when I got him, you know, I was so happy that he was alive. And everyone was telling me this is so common. This happens all the time. And Morgan, you said it happened to you. Spencer said it happened to her. And apparently it's really normal, but that does not feel fucking normal to me.
Yeah. Let's be clear.
It doesn't feel normal.
No.
You know, you talk
Especially
about
when you're in
golden
that
hour
headspace.
and you talk about all these beautiful experiences that women are having on Instagram and they're laying the baby on the chest and they immediately start nursing. I don't even get to hold my baby for almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's alive. And like, I'm sitting there like wounded alone in a room. Like it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So yeah, was I was expecting the C-section. Was it a better birth? No.
It was just bad.
It wasn't a fucking better birth.
It was bad in different ways.
It was a shit birth. And it was
Glad he's here,
traumatizing.
glad it's over. Like,
And I'm just glad he's here. I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad that I'm alive. Like, you know, all the things, because a lot of women die. But it wasn't a redemptive birth.
He has been a redemptive baby, though.
He's a redemptive baby. He sleeps all day.
you know what? Maybe that's good enough, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I'd rather have the redemptive baby, I think,
Yeah.
than a great birth and then another colicky
I would
baby.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, not to be a Debbie Downer, but like, no, it fucking sucked.
No, I think that's like, I think that it's healthy to share. Birth isn't always, I mean, is it always magical in a sense of like the miracle that is happening?
Yes.
Yes, but is it magical in the like whimsical fairy tale sense? Fuck no.
Oh.
I think it's in fact more rare to have that experience than it is
I agree.
100%.
I
to
agree.
have the birth that you like planned and dreamt of and wanted to have.
Well,
I think
okay, and can we be honest? We need to get off social media about our births.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I was
not
watching women
Raw dog it.
raw dogging. I mean, the amount of heads I've seen coming out of vaginas in the last 4 months.
Yeah.
And
that's
buttholes
great.
coming out. Like,
And that's great, and I love that. But think about all the births that happen. I'm like, it's just another level of just like
We're not supposed to
this
see all that
idea.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need to see all that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't need all the ideas. We don't need all the opinions. We don't need all the comparison. And it's just like I just hate. That's what was happening for me. Is like, okay, I just need to like stop looking at these because like my birth is going to be what my birth is going to be, and like. I think for the most part, even if someone like had like a great, fairly smooth vaginal birth, it's like, you know, compared to, an emergency
Yeah.
C-section would be like glorious. They're still going to have something.
It's still
that's like,
trauma.
well, I ended up like, I couldn't make it through and I had to get an epidural. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like, I just want everybody to just like realize like you did something really great and
Yeah.
you're continuing to do something really
Yeah.
great by like taking care of this life. And like sometimes it's okay if things are just good enough.
Yeah. Yep. And that's true. Yeah. And I think if I'm honest with myself, I don't think I was ever sold myself totally on the fact that I would have a redemptive birth. I think I really wanted to believe that and I really wanted to talk myself into it. But as it came closer and closer, I was like, if I go much longer, like I am worried about this birth. So
Sorry, Macy, I interrupted you. I was passionate.
no, girl,
it's okay.
Girl, take it.
Yeah. I love
Take it,
that.
honey.
It's true. I mean, I think that
true.
every birth to some degree has
And you had vaginal natural births, and they were traumatizing too.
Yeah.
both of them in very different ways.
So it's
Yeah.
like, and you
Yeah.
bled out.
I
you know,
hemorrhaged
you
after my
hemorrhaged.
second one. and
So it's like
literally,
it's
don't
there.
remember moments.
It's
of it.
traumatizing.
Yeah.
Birth is traumatizing unless
Yeah.
you are just one of those fucking women who that love it.
Yeah.
That it feels like this wonderful, amazing, orgasmic, crazy experience.
And I love
that
that.
is wild, but good for you.
Right.
Yeah.
That ain't me.
Yeah, and it just makes, I hate to be on the soapbox about the social media and the comparison, but it's true.
No, I think
it's true.
you're right, though.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's social media is the same reason why I feel like, oh God, I 6 weeks I should look totally
it's
different.
exactly.
It's because
It's
I see
everything.
women on social media that have a baby and then look normal.
Well,
Right
to be
away.
fair, though,
Though, those are also the ones that are intentionally posting their bodies that far postpartum because they do look that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're seeing the 1% of the 1% versus
Yeah.
the 99% that look like they had a
Yeah.
baby 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of it's real.
No.
No, none of it's real.
No.
Truly.
No, it's not. You're right.
And like, you've been through enough. Moms they're going through enough, and they
Yeah.
have been through enough. It's like, take a day off
yeah.
of the comparison.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
take
yeah, yeah.
a day off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clock out.
And I do, and it's healthy for me.
Oh, yeah.
When I get off and I'm just not on for a while, it's healthy for me.
It is for everybody. It's so nice to take a breather.
What about mentally? I
Anyways.
think we covered physically, emotionally.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Ish.
we covered that. Well, I do feel like we're saving the best question for last.
You guys want to talk about doula drama?
Let's talk about doula drama.
Oh my God.
Rock me, mama.
To be the 10-year-old.